What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have another model plane review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the absolutely beautiful NG Models 1/400 scale Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8 in the Imua One livery. This is a very beautiful model to add to my collection, and yeah, I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this model, but I'm gonna go into the further details on why this model looks absolutely beautiful and why NG Models did a wonderful job on it. But yeah, once again, I'm really glad to have this model in my collection, and of course I did a model plane unboxing out of this model already, but I decided to do a model plane review out of this model because it's just beautiful. So yeah, I'm gonna go into like all the other details for this model right here, or this particular aircraft. And yeah, so without being said, let's just get started with the box per usual. Like I always start with the box first, and then we're gonna move on to the model. So let's get started with the box. Alright, so here's the box of Imua One. I think NG Models did a wonderful job on the box art right here. So you got the Boeing 737 MAX 8 tiles right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got all these symbols of like all the Hawaiian culture stuff, along with like a blue to like a purple, that's a gradient right there, and then it goes into a red to like an orange gradient right there, and then at the very tip of it, it has the yellow. So that is a very nice box art from NG Models, and yeah, one of NG's best box art they did. You got the Imua One tiles right there, NG Models logo, 1/400 scale, collectible models, diecast metal. You got the Southwest Airlines tiles right there, and the aircraft registration, which is November 8710 Mike, and then you got the Boeing licensed product right there. Moving on to the side of the box, you can see like a gradient between like a red, orange, and a yellow, and of course you got the aircraft right there. Southwest logo, you can see the yellow right there, which is very nice. Along that, it fades into like an orange and a red. On this side, it's from a purple to a blue, and it's kind of like the same, blue to purple. So that's a very nice box art right there once again. And then you got the back side. Now, what I noticed is that the NG logo right there is not actually white, so it's not like a bluish color or like a purplish. Now I think that's reasonable, so it does not interfere with this blue, so kind of like what NG did right there. And of course everything's pretty much the same. You got their social media pages right there, you got the warning hazards, and the item number of this model is 88016. So yeah, once again, I think NG Models did a wonderful job on this box art right here, and overall, once again, as I said, is one of NG's best box arts they ever done. So, that is it for the box. Now let's move on to the model. And there she is right there. Wow, what a beautiful model from NG Models. And yeah, once again, this is just a fantastic model NG did. And yeah, one of my favorite models to add to my collection, and one of my favorites from this year alone. So, all like the model planes that were produced this year, this is one of my favorites. So let's get started with the front on the port side with the cockpit windows right there. And of course you got the nose shape of the 737 NG mold. And yeah, the 737 nose shape from NG's 737 MAX mold is very nice. And yeah, really accurate. You got some pitot tube details right there. You got the Imua One tiles right there, excuse me. Then you got the ETOPS logo, and then 8710. That's part of the registration right there. You got the nose landing gear right there as well. And yeah, kind of like on how NG was able to replicate the height of the nose landing gear, because like, it's not like the 737 NG where it sits a lot lower, but because of those engines right there, the nose landing gear has to be sit much higher than just like a regular 737. So that's quite interesting right there. Then you got like the L1 Boeing door right there, and the Southwest Heart logo right there. And then you got some details of the flowers right there. Of course, this side is blue, so that's very interesting. Then it fades into like a purple right there. You also got some more symbols right there. You got your bottom antenna right there. Moving on to the middle section of the aircraft, this is where like the red begins, and of course you got some other, I'll go into each of these symbols that really represents what this livery stands out. So I'll go into those later in this video. You got the LEAP 1B engine right there, which NG Models did a wonderful job on the proportion of the size, and overall it's not rocket ship, so that is very nice. That's a plus point for NG Models right there. You also got the silver rim and the exhaust area right there, looking very nice. You got your main landing gear, which is painted red, so it's like painted red on the outer, but on the inner it's like a gray. You got your top antenna right there, and then you also got your emergency exit doors right there. Moving on to some wing details. Let me zoom out real quick. Alright, so here's some wing detail right there. Let me just move my pencil real quick. So I got some engine pylon detail right there. You got some leading edge detail from the slats. trailing edge detail with the flaps right there. You got your flap track fairings right there. There's your emergency exit indicators right there. The coastal fuel frost area, which is right there. And you can see some ground spoiler detail and flight spoiler detail, but you can see some ailerons. I think it depends on the lighting situations, but you can slightly see them. And here's your Wi-Fi dome right there. Let me just set her down like that. There we go. So, moving on to some parts of the aircraft right there. You also got your AT winglet, or Advanced Technology winglet. This is not a split scimitar. So, yeah, really nice winglet for a 737 MAX. And yeah, it's of course painted gray since this is a Southwest Special livery. But yeah, I think NG Models also did a very nice job on getting the AT winglet proportional and the right size. So that's very nice right there. There's your dual antennas right there. If I can try like point. Let me just move to the other side. There it is. So here are your dual antennas right there. Looking very nice. And then on this section, you got some C-tails right there. This has like a orange fade. And then it moves into a yellow gradient. And it runs all the way at the very back of the aircraft. And then moving on to the back area, speaking of, let me focus it again. You got your L2 door right there. And then you also got the ETOPS logo right there. And then you got the aircraft registration, November 8710 Mike. You also got your US flag on the dorsal fin. And then moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got the APU right there. Of course, the APU on the 737 MAX is almost like the APU of a 787, but that's how Boeing designed it, and I do like this design. And of course, you got your horizontal stabilizers right there, and a beautiful Southwest Airlines tail looking absolutely very nice. And let me just zoom out. There it is, so you can see it more clear. I like on how they also printed the Southwest logo on there very well. So that's very nice right there. Moving on to like the starboard side of the aircraft. Let me just move her like this. There we go. Also, I do want to mention, well, I want to show you a bit of the front, but you got all these like beautiful fan blade details right there. And yeah, NG Models did a wonderful job on that. And now moving on to the starboard side of the aircraft. Of course, you got your R doors right there. But you also got your forward cargo bin, which I'm not sure if you can see it properly, but I think that's pretty much blocked by it because of like this is blue. You can't hardly see much of the forward cargo bin, slightly sort of, but yeah, I'm pointing it right there, so that's where it should be. And then moving on to the aft area, you got the aft cargo bin right there. Moving on to a top view of the aircraft, so let me just position her. So here's the top view right there. Very nice detail from the top view. Of course, you can see slightly a little bit of detail from the top. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, a nice bottom area and nice detailing right there. You also got the Southwest heart right there, situated like in front of the engines. And there's no stand hole for this model, which it's almost quite reasonable for NG to not put a stand hole under 737s. But what I do like is how they engraved like the nose landing gear holes for like the the main landing gear holes for like the 737s. I like on how NG was able to replicate that. You also got the MaxSafe tiles at the very front of the nose. Moving on to the front section of the aircraft. I'll just set it like this. So here's the front section of the plane, looking very nice. Do love the ground flex configuration on this model right here. And the back side also looks very nice as well. So yeah, a very nice model from NG Models, and yeah, I'm really glad to have this in my collection. This came out of NG Models' July 2023 releases, and this is one of the models I pre-ordered. And yeah, really glad to have this model in my collection once again. Now, before I get into like the details of like the aircraft's history, this airframe in general, I do want to show you guys like what each symbol represents on this livery. So I do have like a picture right there. This was from NG Models. They also stated on what each like symbol means. So let me just zoom. Let me put the aircraft up close like this. Okay, so as I do have my MacBook with me, so let's read each symbol so I can know what they mean. So we're gonna start from the front right there, and then we're gonna go all the way at the back. So beginning here with these flowers right there, and correct me if I'm not sure if I'm gonna say these correctly or how I can pronounce them, but yeah, I'm giving my best. I'm giving the best I got. So beginning here with the flowers right here. So the flowers means so. All right, here we go. So like the flowers. So that is okay. So I'm gonna have to like Lokahi. I think that's what it means, and that's how I say it. So Lokahi. Oh man, it's a tough word sometimes. but Lokahi, which means unity, and that means succeed with teamwork. So these are all the flowers right there. Next up we have Imua, which of course means moving forward. So going forward with strength, courage, and strong spirit. So this is where you'll find the Imua symbol right there. Moving on, we got Kai, which is ocean, and that means harness good energy. So ocean would be right there. It's kind of well depicted because like you can tell that this is a wave right there, which is very nice. Next up we have Ohana, which means family, so it'll be right here. That means root in relationships. So a nice symbol. Like of course Southwest has employees in Hawaii, so they're building relationships there. Alright, next up we have is Aina. So Aina means land, and that means find common ground. So this is where it'll represent right there. Next up we have Hanu, which is turtle, which is reasonable why it's called turtle. So this will be the turtle right there, and that means move with. Hang on, I gotta like read this. So move with perseverance. Yeah, so that means move with perseverance. It's kind of like they added like white text, so they painted their text white, so it kind of took a while for me to like look at it. So yeah, that is the sea turtle right there, or Hanu. Next up we have Hoku, which means star, and that means guide with a purpose. So kind of like guiding, like it's kind of like guiding them to like Hawaii from like the mainland USA. So that's what the star represents right there. Next up, and I think this I got, so they're like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're on our last symbol right there, which is this one, which means ama or support, and that means connect to, strengthen, and balance. So yeah, this is what it means right there. So once again, that is ama or support. So yeah, I think Imua One has all these like, they do have very nice symbols. Like I do like on how the livery features symbols on what really represents in Hawaiian culture, and of course Imua One, which is the name of the aircraft. So yeah, very nice livery overall from Southwest, and of course they did a wonderful job on this model right here, and I'm glad that Engine Models was able to make this first in 1/400 scale. And yeah, Gemini Jets has the like Imua One in 1/200 and 1/400 on their future releases, but I'm not sure when's that gonna be released, but hopefully soon. But other than that, I do have this Engine Models right here, and she looks absolutely very nice. So now let's move on to like the details of this airframe. Alright, now let's begin the history portion of this particular airframe, November 8710 Mike. So as I pull up planespotters.net, so here's some information right here. So the manufacturer serial number is 42567, and the line number of this aircraft is 6188. And of course, the age of this aircraft is 6.2 years, and she was built in Renton. And yeah, the Boeing Renton factory in Washington, and the airframe status, of course, it is active. So this was last updated on September 7th of 2023. And yeah, quite some interesting stuff. And I also do have Airfleet stuff right here. So of course it says the same thing. And the first flight date of this aircraft is August 9th of 2017. And this aircraft, of course, is equipped with CFMI LEAP 1B engines. And those are the turbofans right there. And as I look into some details, there isn't really much history going on. This was actually delivered new to Southwest Airlines on August 29th of 2017, which is, I think this is Southwest Airlines' first 737 MAX 8, so that is very nice. Of course, she was in the Heart livery before, so nice that this particular airframe is Southwest's first 737 MAX, and it's nice that they painted Imua One in this livery. So there's some more remarks right here. So of course, she was ferried to Boeing Field, to Dallas Love Field on August 29th, which is the day she was delivered, and it entered into service on October 1 of 2017, and her first commercial flight was from Dallas to Denver, I think. And then during like 2020, she was stored at Victorville. Actually, no, this was not before like the whole pandemic. This was actually during like the 737 MAX groundings, ever since like that Ethiopian flight. So yeah, it led to many of the MAXs being grounded. So she was stored in Victorville on March 24th, 2019, which is around the time where the 737 MAXs are being grounded. And then she was put back to service on April 4th of 2021, and yeah, she returned to service on April 21st of 2021, that same year. But she was like out of Victorville on April 4th. So yeah, very interesting right there for this airline. And this year, so that was like a few months back, so she was painted in Imua One in late April of 2023. Originally, we thought this aircraft was going to be painted in the Hawaii One, which is like Hawaii One with like the entire state flag painted in like the aircraft's fuselage, but I guess Imua One is a better choice. Either way, like they've been doing a lot of like state flags already under state liveries, but seeing them go for like a different approach rather than just like a state flag is very nice, and I do appreciate Southwest Airlines on taking another step and go at this livery. So very nice model right there. And yeah, also Imua One is a very special livery for me because it was around May 13th of 2023 is when she like first visited to Sacramento. I was very fortunate enough to catch her for the first time when she first visited Sacramento on a golden hour day, and I do have like a very nice photo. You probably seen my photos on Instagram, but I'll show you that I'll show you that photo again to clarify on how beautiful that photo is. But yeah, quite interesting. Of course, like I kind of like fixed the coloring, but I just showed you the edited one. So yeah, very nice photo right there. And I also get to see her for the second time back in like I think early June. So I got a very beautiful morning hour shot of that aircraft, and it ended up turning much better. So what I did after that is like I edited the photo and added that to JP, and I waited for a couple of days until she was thankfully accepted. And yeah, Imua One is now on my JP profile, so I'm very nice. My original one got rejected because of like a hue problem, like hue coloring, and probably like it's underexposed, but I mean, it is what it is, and at least I got a second photo of Imua One of this livery, and I'm glad that got accepted. I'm glad that got accepted. I hope I can see Imua One again, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, a very nice livery from Southwest, and once again, it is a very special livery for me. And yeah, really nice to see Imua One for the first time when she first visited to Sacramento, but not only that, great to see her again for the second time in beautiful morning hour lighting. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this review. So without being said, let's move on to the conclusion, and then we're gonna conclude this video from here. What a beautiful model from NG Models right here. I think they did a wonderful job, as I said, and yeah, really nice to have Imua One in my collection. And yeah, I think I should be featuring her on some of my airport updates. Well, I featured her on one airport update, which was, I think it was the August 2023 Roseville airport update. But yeah, a very nice livery from Southwest, and yeah, once again, NG Models did a wonderful job. The colors is very saturated, and yeah, once again, it's just a nice livery overall. And yeah, it's my favorite livery excluding Freedom One. Well, Freedom One is my favorite, Freedom One is my favorite livery, but Imua One is second place behind Freedom One. But yeah, but other than that, I'm just really glad to have this model in my collection, and yeah, it's a perfect model from NG Models, and I would highly recommend getting this model for your collection. Surprisingly, it's still available on NG Models' website. I mean, at first glance, I thought it was going to be sold out because this is the first time Imua One was made 1/400, but I don't know. I think they have a lot of stocks in that. I think they may have a lot of stocks for like Imua One, so not sure about that, but I think that's how NG operates. But it'll be surprised if like in the next couple of months that Imua One's gonna be sold out. But yeah, but Gemini Jets is gonna do their take on Imua One soon in 1/400 scales, but we just have to wait and see on which release set is gonna be falling on. But other than that, Imua One, it's a very nice livery, and yeah, once again, as I said, NG Models did a wonderful job on this model right here. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And don't forget to stay tuned for the next small plane reviews that I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for those videos, and don't forget to check out my playlist as well. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.